Hello and welcome to Trope on a Rope, the podcast where we delve into the kit bag of Hollywood and rummage through its gear in search of truth, beauty, meaning, and hopefully some contraband, like a beer or a nudie magazine or a donut smuggled from the mess hall. This week we conclude our look at Vietnam War films. Our previous entries were made relatively close to the war itself, with the feelings and ramifications still fresh in the minds of filmmakers and audiences. Also, they were made in the 80s, a decade that we romanticise now but was actually a bit grimy and shit itself. Today, we look at a film that covers the same event almost 60 years removed, in HD, and with about 4 different walls separating it from its source material. My name's Jeff, and I'm joined by Mr. Colin Gerard. Sup, bitch?
That's me.
I went through that with minimal mistakes, so I'm quite happy with that.
Yeah, it was a pretty good intro. Not as hilarious as some of your other ones, but it's pretty good.
I've got to fit the word chat in there more, like Alan Partridge. I got to do more Alan Partridge things in these things. All right, let's just dive straight into this bitch. The greatest beer run ever follows the story of John Chicky Donahue as he gets the drunken idea to travel to Vietnam in the middle of a war and hand-deliver beers to his buddies in an attempt to raise the troops' morale. On his way, though, the somewhat naive Chicky, having seen the horrors of war on TV, realises, to his astonishment, that the realities of war are equally as horrifying, as he witnesses needless death, destruction and war crimes as he boldly tries to deliver to his friends non-chilled, ambient jungle temperature cans of Pabst Blue Ribbon, a war crime in and of itself.
Yeah. That was my main thought throughout the entire movie. I was like, these beers are going to be warm and flat. He didn't even carry him around in an esky.
I have problems with the bag that he brings them with, because that bitch never goes down in volume.
Right? It's like the TARDIS. How many beers did he bring, do you reckon? Because he's handing them out to every person he meets.
Yeah, right. As you've brought that up, I've written the note that by the looks of it, it looks like he drinks all of them on his first night.
Yeah, right.
He's in that room, and if you look in the background of that little shack that he's having drinks with all those guys in, there's like seven or 8 guys in there. They've all got them on the go. The table's covered in beers. There's towers of beers in beer cans in the background. They've drank all the beers, right?
And he still hasn't paid his tab.
Because I think he brings like 4. It shows him bring 4 cases.
Does it? I don't remember. But yeah. So what? So like about 100 beers.
Yeah, about a short. If you like, a modern slab is like what, 20, 24?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, so just shy of 100. Yeah, no, no. That's
And he's drinking some of them himself as he goes as well.
yeah, on the way, definitely. Yeah.
I don't think at any point in the movie do you see him drink anything else, like a bottle of water or an orange juice. This guy's he's a full-blown alcoholic.
So drinking alcohol in the jungle that much for 3 for a 3 or 4 day bender, dehydrated as shit. That's some dark piss going on.
Yeah, like Vietnam's a pretty hot place as well, right? And humid.
Yeah, muggy as shit. Yeah. And on top of that, warm beer
and bullets.
There's a bit in it where he passes out a beer, I think during the foxhole bit, and the dude goes, "Oh, yeah, that's great." I'm like, "Is it?" I would have wished for death.
Oh, it's just like when you're in a bar and you've been like having a long conversation with someone, so you haven't been drinking your beer as fast. You've only got half left and it's gone warm and flat, and you're like, "Do I just buy another beer?"
So, what are your initial thoughts of this film? Then,
just from your description, I was expecting it to be awesome. Absolutely loved the movie. It was really good story. And like halfway through, I'd forgotten that it's a true story. I believe that's when I emailed you, and I was like, I can't believe this is fucking true story. This is absolutely mental.
Yeah,
it's a great story as well. I do like the fact that it's like almost the opposite of the other 2 movies. It's a lot more about the people at home and their reaction to the Vietnam War as opposed to the actual people in the war. You have a little bit of that, obviously.
I think with these films, we've covered most of the angles that you can, right? So we have started with like pre-war and like soldiers before they went to war, and then in the shit of the war, and then like this is more like the ramifications of the war and like the effects back home and like the perceptions of it and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, we've covered everything kind of.
The first one we did was Full Metal Jacket, right?
Yeah.
And it was a lot about side actually writing the propaganda and sending that, oh, the war's going really well. The boys killed everyone important today.
Yeah.
And then this is the other side of it. Like shows you like is it Zac Efron?
Yeah, Zac Efron, yeah.
Like he's like, yeah, he's fully like, oh, why aren't you supporting our boys? This is crazy. They're not defending us. They're heroes. Like looking at it from almost a World War II perspective.
Yeah.
And then you got the other guys, the hippie, his sister, who's like, no,
Yeah.
they're just sending people to their death. This is fucking crazy. It shouldn't be happening. There's no reason we're there. It's interesting.
The media angle is quite heavy in this film, and like through all the films, I suppose, like with the what's it called, Full Metal Jacket. Yeah, they're talking about they're trying to spread good news, like fluff pieces and all that kind of stuff, whilst Joker's like, this shit went down in this area and this area, and his commander's like, yeah, but we don't want people to know that. You don't want to bring the morale of the troops down. Whilst the press in this are like, no, we want to tell the truth.
Yeah, that crew, they're all like looking at, is it Lyndon B. Johnson, the president?
Lyndon B. Johnson, yeah, LBJ.
Yeah, then they're going, oh, turn that lying piece of shit off TV. Like, the press are putting a lot better light in this than they are in the other two movies.
Yeah, I mean, the first one, they're just interviewing. The real press are just interviewing. Are they even the real press, or they just?
They're probably the war, like the officers in the actual army press.
Yeah, I had heard of this story before. So this is based on true story. Like all of the based on true story things, like it's in quotation marks, so there's a bit of fluff around the edge. I'd heard of this story before. There's a podcast called Do Go On where they do like school reports to each other on like an interesting topic, whilst the other people on the podcast make jokes all the way through. So they had mentioned, I'd listened to that and they told this story, and it's an amazing story. And it was also before the film was made, and they had mentioned that in that podcast that a film was being made. And they also mentioned that it was Zac Efron that was up for playing Chicky. And the minute, like, their enthusiasm for the idea of like a film of this story is quite high. And then they mention Zac Efron, and then it just goes,
Are they like, what? Greatest Showman? Oh, come on.
The Greatest Showman. Well, he is. How do you feel about Zac?
He's a good actor.
Zac Efron has an reputation that I think is mostly unearned. Like he's like one of those Disney kids, right?
Yeah, but he's also in he does that. Doesn't he do Baywatch?
Yeah, he was in the remake of
That was a
like every time I hear his name, like I recoil slightly, like, oh, really? But I don't know what I'm basing that on, because everything I've seen him in, he's actually good.
Yeah, he is. But I had the same reaction as well when I hear his name.
I don't know. It's like it's been trained in me. It's like Zac Efron. But he's actually good in stuff. And like in this, he's great. He does nail this.
Oh, he's fucking brilliant in this. Like he even does the being afraid for his life because CIA is after him thing pretty fucking well. He has just enough comedy that it's not slapstick.
And props has to go out to best supporting actor
Bill Murray.
His mustache.
Yeah, fair play. Yeah, although Bill, I was really surprised Bill Murray has such a small supporting role. Like you got Bill Murray for that. He wasn't even funny.
The film compared to the others, it's like funny and light mostly.
My favorite character was the Vietnamese traffic control guy.
Oklahoma.
He was brilliant.
Or Hugh, I think was his name.
Yeah, so I was actually genuinely sad when he died.
I think I liked, what was his name? Lieutenant Havershaw, the guy who's helping him, who thinks he's in the
Oh,
CIA,
yeah, he's
basically.
brilliant as
And
well.
no matter how he tells the truth, he always thinks, you guys.
Good. Yeah, let's just say I'm bringing beers to my friends.
Yeah.
Wow, would that be like a keg? No, just cans. My God, that's gonna be a shit show. What? What do you think he means?
I do like this film. I've seen this film twice now. The first time I saw it, loved it, thought it was great. Second time watching it this time, and I think also watching it in conjunction with the other two, I think that some of its like messaging is a little bit more on the nose and a little less subtle than others.
Hmm.
Like the other ones do it through like context and actions. In this one, they a lot of the times they literally just say it out loud.
Yes, it's like they're aiming it for a stupider audience.
Yeah, so that did take away from me a little bit. It is a little bit like war is bad, not because we're showing you war is bad, but because the character is literally just standing there, just going, "War's bad."
Yeah, and like the entire movie is pretty much exposition because it's
Yeah,
all Chicky learning that war is bad.
but yeah, otherwise, other than that, yeah, no, it's an enjoyable film, but it's messaging is a little bit of a blunt weapon.
Hmm.
Right, so it starts in Inwood, New York City. There's a title card that says Inwood, New York City, 1967. And then it says in small writing underneath, a neighborhood in northern Manhattan. This is the only location card in the entire fucking film. And it's super specific.
Yeah, it's fairly pointless as well.
Like Inwood, New York. I can guess where like that it's in New York. It's probably in Manhattan. I can guess. Like motherfucker, you go to a place called you don't sell anywhere in Vietnam you are. I don't know what fucking LZ Jane the fuck is or where it is, but you tell me very specifically where Inwood is.
LZ, I think LZ stands for landing zone,
Yeah, right?
and then Jane is just like their arbitrary name for it, like Alpha or
Apart from up north, they don't really tell you where
there's a
it is.
only struck me the second time watching it the amount of time he has to run around to all of his friends and hand out beers. He's got 24 fucking hours.
He starts with 3 days. He biffs the first day on the first dude.
Hmm.
He's just got 48 hours for the rest of the guys.
Yeah, but he doesn't. He gets stuck, doesn't he? Yeah, well, because he doesn't. He's late for the boat. The boat decides to come back for him.
The boat leaves early.
Oh, does it leaves early?
The boat leaves early, yeah. I don't think yeah, I don't think the time thing matches up quite perfectly. But yeah, the Chicky, we start the film in Inwood, New York City, brackets a neighborhood in northern Manhattan. Chicky and his friends are in the pub. And they're just drinking. So he's a merchant mariner. So he spends like half the year doing jobs and working on ships, and then half of the year drinking
Yep.
at home, which I would say is fair play. But his parents give him like right. Well, he's living at home for a start.
Well, his dad gives him shit for it.
Yeah, but he does work on ships for half the year, so I don't know what
Yeah,
the
and
problem.
according to this, he's literally just got back from working on it. Like 3 months ago, he was
Yeah.
working on a ship. So he's been he's been at home for 3 months. He's got 3 months left. Get a fucking job. I have a job, dickheads.
Yeah, fuck off. So he's hanging around with his friends in the pub, and his friends are mostly blank slates. Like they're all kind of interchangeable, except for the flip flopper guy.
Yeah, I was about to say, except for that one guy who just changes his opinion on everything.
Because this film is based on a book. This book is written by Chicky Donahue himself. It's like his autobiography.
Okay.
And I re-listened to that Do Go On episode about this. So when there's like differences with real life, I'll try and bring them up. That flip flopper guy sounds like a description of like a childhood friend you find in a book that is like only one sentence long.
Yeah.
Oh, I had a friend back in the neighborhood. He would never, and that his description of flip flopping is like one sentence long, and that's all his character is based on.
That's literally the only thing that he does.
It's literally the only thing
Ah,
that he does.
I hate this song. No, you're right. It's not a bad song. It's just like for literally everything.
for literally everything. But yeah, all one of his friends is on medical crutches. That's his only character trait.
Yeah.
They don't mention what it's about at all at any point. And then the other two friends, two or three friends, are kind of interchangeable.
Yeah, I don't really. There's the one that gets punched in the face.
One that gets punched in the face, yeah.
Like he's obviously a bit mouthy.
His name's Red, which I only know because I looked it up. And then he's got a friend called Noodle. And then Noodle's the one that pisses off the Colonel.
Oh yeah, that's a good line by Bill Murray though. Man, you got a bit of a short fuse today. I don't have a short fuse. You just don't know when you lit it. Oh, oh,
That is
Bill.
a good line, but in the context of what he said, he didn't really say much to set him off.
No, but that's the point. He's obviously said shit many times before. That's slowly been pissing him off.
Um, the film says that Chicky served in, I believe, the army, or the navy, but he
Massachusetts
never,
or something.
but he never left Massachusetts. I believe, if I'm remembering this right from the podcast, in real life he had been to Vietnam before, but had never left the boat.
Oh, okay.
He had served before. He'd been on a ship, in the military, but it had never left the harbor. So he'd been there, but not stepped foot on land at that point.
So he wasn't quite aware of the horrors.
The colonel. So the colonel runs the bar. The colonel's played by Bill Murray. I was going to say Tim Murray then, famous tennis player Tim Murray.
I thought you were going to say Tim Allen.
Played by played by Tim. Oh, that's better. So he's playing the colonel, who runs this bar, and like there's a flagpole outside that he raises and lowers the flag and half masts it, which is all true in real life. The colonel, by the way, is just a nickname that people called him. He served in World War II, but he was never higher than like a private.
Okay. So they're just ribbing him every day.
He was the oldest and most respected person who'd served in the military from that neighborhood, so everyone just called him the colonel.
And he never like corrected them.
Never corrected them. There's like the first hint of like when I do like when Chicky Chicky's a fucking loser.
Yeah.
Like he doesn't pay for drinks. He's out of work just at that moment. He doesn't pay for drinks. He's got a high bar tab. He sleeps until noon or 3, I think his dad says. Who's played by an actor who's probably like 2 years older than Zac Efron.
Doesn't look it
though. Whilst I think his sister Christine is the one is the hippie who's going to war protests and stuff like that. Yeah, that's the things with Christine is where it starts to be like, well, it's her character, I suppose, that is like literally starts to point out these things. Like they have that argument across the breakfast table about like what's happening over there and like the political situation. It's like it's a bit heavy for breakfast, isn't
it? Well, because she walks in one of the, I think it's his childhood friend has gone missing. She says he's dead. Like they've lost whatever his name was.
It's nameless person. It's not nameless person. They do say the name, but it's someone else from the neighborhood has been killed.
Because they end up going to they have a funeral service, right?
Yeah, they go to the wake, and then Flip Floppy Guy is talking about the benefits of a wake. For no other purpose than to display his flip floppiness.
Yeah.
It's a bizarre statement for him to even start. I don't see the point in wakes. It drags things out. Well, wakes are important for the family, dickhead. Well, I suppose you're true. That they're important. We must have wakes. There's no point of that conversation except for to point out that he's a flip-flopping prick. So they're at the wake when they get news about Tommy's friend. Chicky's friend Tommy.
Yeah,
his childhood friend. Like they've got a bunch of friends, but Tommy's the main one, and Tommy's MIA.
And you never actually really meet him. You get one flashback where they're chasing a taxi. He's never
Yeah,
seen the fireworks display or something. Where he's never seen,
yeah.
and they like showing they're good friends, or whatever. And you just hear from everyone that, oh, he was the best guy. I fucking love that guy. He's the best. But you don't really.
There's a couple of flashbacks during the film. There's that one with the taxi. There's one where he's talking, where they're
Oh
in the
yeah,
bar and he's saying that he's like afraid and he doesn't want to go to war and stuff like that. I think there's a couple like here and there, like quick flashes. But the weird thing is that they're all adults.
yeah,
They're all the same ages in the flashbacks. There's no like childhood friends. Like all these flashbacks might have happened like 2 weeks before.
yeah. There's none when they were kids, like at school.
Yeah. There's no, they're not building that relationship. Yeah, I don't know. I think they should have shown, like, if they shown more things like throughout their lives, like the childhood, like playing in the streets, it's that like going through like that cliched American thing of playing on the street corner whilst the fire hydrant is blowing water out on a hot summer's eve afternoon, that kind of shit.
Like a typical Ben Affleck, Matt Damon movie.
But no, it's just like a flashback to like that the Christmas before.
But I do like like even though you never really get to meet him that much, Zac Efron's reaction to people saying like, "Oh, how do you feel about we lost Tommy?" Like you can see he acts it really well, where he's just like, "Look, he's not dead. He just hasn't been found yet." Like
Yeah.
he can't admit it to himself. You know that he really cares about it.
The next day, because like Tommy's MIA, so he's missing in action, so he's not dead yet. They come across a war protest. Like the impetus of this film is that there's war protests going on in America, and the idea is that these are being televised as much as the fucked up things in Vietnam are being televised. So we're seeing like dead bodies and soldiers with limbs blown off and shit. Here and there, they're seeing that the public is protesting against their actions there. So their morale must be shit, right?
Yeah. And Bill Murray comes off with an offhand comment to like, do you know
Yeah.
what? If I could, I'd love to just go up there and meet them and just give them a beer, show them some
Yeah.
support while everyone's drunk.
I think when this idea comes up, I think is the turning point when, because I think a lot of the protests at the time were leveled at like LBJ and the government and not at the soldiers themselves.
Yeah.
Because a lot of the soldiers, there's like professional soldiers. We mentioned this in the other ones. There's professional soldiers, but there's also draft soldiers as well. So people who don't have a choice, they're being sent over there. Where are we going with it? The protests are mostly aimed at the governments and LBJ. Like their chant is like, LBJ, how many kids you killed today?
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily anti-troop, but I think it was the period in time when they came up with this idea in real life, when the protests started to be more against the troops and started to be more like, oh, baby killers, like stuff
Yeah.
like that. Because he goes to that park and he blows out those candles because he thinks they're peace candles. And they turn
You
out
don't
to
like
be
peace?
you don't like peace. It's a good comeback. But they turn out to be like four fallen soldiers. But his sister Christine, she points out that, oh no, we're doing this for the guys, in support of the guys, in Tommy's memory. It's not against him.
Yeah, we want them to come home.
We want them to come home. And the chanting isn't against them, it's against LBJ. But right behind her, the guy with the placard behind her says baby killer. Baby killers in big letters.
Yeah.
Which kind of undermines her argument a little bit.
Yeah, but I mean they are blaming Lyndon B. Johnson as the baby killer. But you're right. It's ambiguous because they like who is actually killing people? It's the fucking troops,
Yeah.
obviously. So
he's the one that punches Red in the face.
Yeah, that was actually quite funny as well. Yeah, put it right here, right here. I'll give you the first free shot. And then later they're in the bar, and he's like, "Yeah, there was like 12 of them against us, and we kicked the shit out of them. Where'd you get that big welt in your face from?" Well, I mean, sucker punched me.
As I said, they had the idea to go over to Vietnam and bring beers, which he mentions offhand. And Chicky goes, for some reason, Chicky goes, yeah, I'll do it.
I could do that. In fact, no, fuck it. I will do that.
But yeah, he's bullshitting and full of bravado, and everyone's like, "Are you serious?" One of my favorite lines comes from the Colonels, where he just goes, his friends goes, "Are you serious? You're drunk. That's why you're saying this." And the
Yeah.
Colonel says, "He's stone cold sober. That's his fifth beer tops."
And you can see, like, from this point onwards, Chicky's put himself in a really fucking awkward position. He obviously doesn't
Yeah.
actually want to go to Vietnam. He's not planning on going. He's making
Hmm.
excuses. He even goes to the mariner's place and get like
Yeah.
there's obviously no ships available at this time. Oh, there is one. Ah, yeah, great. That's really good news. But obviously, there's no positions on there for working in the engines. Oh, that happens to be. Ah, shit.
Yeah, everyone essentially negs him into doing it.
Yeah, like the mother of the guys that are over there come over and go, please, you're gonna have to give him these socks because he's just like, yeah, okay. I'll do that.
I like one of his reactions that say, "Oh, those guys, they don't really expect you to do it." I said, "What do you mean?" And he says, "Well, you're not going to do it." Well, that's beside the point. Why do they think I'm not going to do it?
Name one thing that I've ever said that I would do that I didn't go through with. You didn't pass high school.
List.
You didn't pass high school. When did I ever say that I would pass high school? Yeah, he comes across as a bit of a flake and full of excuses.
So he does go to Vietnam. He's on a ship. He bullshits his way off it because you're not really supposed to leave the ship. Also, it's the middle of a fucking war zone.
He lies about like his brother, I think, has died or something, and
he brings that whole bag of beers, and then he meets his first friend, kind of by accident, on the docks. Tommy Collins is his first friend. There's a bit. He looks at a photograph. He sees the MPs, the military police. He sees two MPs on the side, and then he looks at a photo of his friend, but it's from a distance, so we don't quite see. So for that moment, it just looks like he's looking at a picture of soldiers, and then looking up at soldiers and just going, "Yep, soldiers."
I'm in the right place. And then he walks over. He walks over like what? You think you're fucking tough? At first, I thought he was just being a dick, and then I realized, obviously, they're friends.
And then they all get pissed for the evening, and as we said earlier, they seem to drink that entire bag's worth of beer.
It does seem that way. And my favorite part of that entire scene is when the superior officer walks in. That's brilliant.
Yeah. So the superior officer, and this happens throughout the film, questions what he's doing there because he's just a civilian in plain clothes, and he just tells the truth every time and says, "I'm here bringing beer," and it's so fucking ludicrous. They assume that he's CIA.
Yeah. Oh,
and
I see.
They don't want to get tangled up with CIA shit, so they leave him be.
Yeah.
And yeah, apparently, this happened. This is how we moved around Vietnam. The real Chicky Donahue. Everyone just assumed he was CIA, and they just gave him like lifts everywhere. I like that when he says the truth a lot. That's how I'm bringing beers to my friends. People repeat it back to him, but the words are in quotation marks.
Yeah.
Beer to your friends.
I see.
He does it himself later when he has lunch with Havershaw, where he says, "Let's just say I'm bringing beers to a friend." And he's like, "Say no more."
do you mean like a keg? No, cans. Oh my god, this is going to be an absolute shit show. So what the fuck?
But yeah, he wastes nearly an entire day because he leaves the boat. He has 3 days, right?
And he spends the entire day with them and the night getting pissed up with them before he leaves the next day. So that's 1 day gone. Because they go on their map. They're actually planning out like his route for him and stuff through the night while he's asleep behind them.
He says he just has like 48 hours left or something like that.
I think so.
Two-ish days. Yeah, and they come up with the idea: don't work your way up the country, go up top first, and then work your way back to the ship.
Yeah, and like there's a lot of red tape in this one place that's really close, so you'll end up being stuck there.
Collins, though, he's like after the first night, and because they're on the relatives, they've not left the Docklands yet.
Yeah.
On second viewing, it became quite grating. This Collins gives him a long speech about how this isn't a game and this is a war and this is real life and he shouldn't be doing this and blah 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 blah. This speech happens like 4 times throughout the film.
Yeah, in varying degrees of anger. He still
Uh,
doesn't at this point. He still doesn't know. Like the first time's fine. At this point, he still doesn't know how dangerous fucking war is.
Yeah, but throughout the film, it doesn't really vary what they say to him when they're pissed off. They just repeat these same like bullet points of "It's a war. Are you an idiot? Blah. This isn't a game." It's those 3 points over and over again. It's like you could have varied this up a little bit more than you do.
Yeah. Although I don't know what else you could have said. It's like that is the point.
From a film perspective, I suppose they could have cut that out.
Or the second time's the best one. The second time's the one where he's actually like really angry at him. It's like you just nearly got me fucking killed, man. Just coming over here to see you. I just had to run through a fucking rain of fire. You nearly got me fucking killed. And then he gets his little revenge. Yeah. He gets his little revenge because it's like, well, you're gonna have to come with me now. Now you'll fucking see.
According to the Do Go On podcast, when they were going through the story, the commanding officer who is pissed that Chicky is a civilian and that he's there, just in real life thought that it was hilarious.
Oh, really?
You know when Chicky holds up the tarp and says, "Can you hide me under here?"
Yeah.
Apparently, in real life, that was the commanding officer's idea to hide Chicky under the tarp. We'll call him back off the battlefield. You hide under it. Get under the top. It'll be funny as fuck. You get under there. When he comes in, he'll be all sweating like gunfire. There'll be bullets ricocheting off his head. He'll come in here and you just go, ta-da! Fucking hilarious, son. So's true is the guy in the foxhole who goes, sorry, you don't have to be here, but you're here.
Like, really?
Like he's in that foxhole for a long time. Before everyone's just on point for so long and concentrating on what they're doing in the foxhole because it's daylight when Chicky and Dugan get to the foxhole, but at night the guys get relieved and they come off their gun and sit down and they're, who the fuck are you?
Yeah, right. But no, this is another one. So they go through another night here. It pisses down with rain and he covers himself with a tarp or something. So that's 2 days gone.
But yeah, that's two. So that's 2 nights. Let's count the nights, right?
Yeah.
They spent one with each so far.
Yeah. And I believe that how many are there 4?
Rick Dugan, Bobby Pappas, Tom Collins, and he's looking for
his
Tommy
child.
Minogue.
So there's 3 that he meets, and then there's one that he doesn't know whether he's alive or dead.
Yeah.
Okay, so he so far 2 guys, 2 nights.
Yeah, and one of them's by accident. The Bobby Pappas one is by accident.
Yeah, in the like when he's being chased by the CIA, right?
To talk about this film's messaging, because again, they go for like saying things out loud being bad rather than showing.
Yeah.
And I think the Foxhole has a couple of examples of they just like if they kept it at that rather than later Zac Efron saying, "Oh, that's bad," then it could have been better. Like they had the guy on the.
Do you mean the one that said like actually it's my second time here. I went back home.
It's my second tour, yeah. No, it's his third tour, he said.
Is it I don't even fit in back there anymore, so I decided to come back.
Yeah, it didn't fit in. Like, yeah, that's the point, that thing he was trying to make earlier. So yeah, that's the messaging of the film, right?
Yeah. But you do see it, and you also see like Zach think about that when he says it. He's like, shit, that's pretty fucked up.
It's amazing restraint that he doesn't. Everything else in this film, something bad happens, and then he points out, "Oh, that's a bad thing that has happened." But that's amazing restraint for that scene, for that guy to be able to talk, to have his moment without Chicky saying anything.
Yeah, without Chicky going, by the way, audience, that's a sad story. Continue.
There was one other point that I wanted to make about the foxhole bit, was that you don't see the enemy
at all.
It's just moving bushes.
Yeah.
Just rustling bushes. Like if it was just, I know it's a comedy and we're trying to keep it light, but the point that they're trying to make with the film is that like the harsh realities of war, right? But you don't see anything. No one gets shot. No one on either side gets injured.
until later on.
except except for the Tet offensive stuff at the end. And the only
Yeah,
person who really gets shot that you know is fucking Oklahoma.
yeah, poor guy. So the next part, I think, correct me if I'm wrong. The next part, Dugan manages to arrange a helicopter. Helicopter's going
Yeah,
somewhere. He arranges for him to be on the helicopter. That's where you
yeah.
meet a real CIA agent for the first time.
So this bit, I believe, is fabricated.
Okay.
This whole getting caught by the CIA and running from the CIA bit is all made up, I think. Because I listened to the Do Go On thing again, and they didn't mention this at all, and I thought it might come up if it was real. Also, the helicopter was legitimately organized for him to get on,
Okay.
so there shouldn't be problems for him being on it. Like
Yeah.
the commanding officers,
And at this point, all the commanding officers know he's a civilian. So
yeah, an actual real one, right?
yeah.
So he had legitimate reason to be on that helicopter. Yeah, that whole sequence I have issues with because it doesn't make sense that they'd be angry at him for being on the helicopter at all. They shouldn't have killed someone in front of us. Like they should have checked who he was before they started killing and torturing people on a helicopter.
I assume that even if this did happen and he got to they wouldn't then be trying to kill him because
Yeah.
he's an American citizen. They'd probably maybe arrest him
Yeah, right. And he would go to a military prison and stuff
or
like that.
just sent back to America, whatever.
In real life, what I believe happened, if I'm only semi remembering this, is that the helicopter did not land like it was supposed to take it. He got as far south as he could, and it stopped somewhere. And then there was like 15 miles towards another base.
Okay.
But it was like the end of another day, so they would like, we'll take you in the morning, and he didn't want to wait, so he did do the walk to the next place.
Okay. He said it's the only real difference is he wasn't running for his life.
Yeah. Now, running into what's his fucking name? Kevin Clooney on the road.
Was that actually happen?
That actually happened, Jay. It wasn't even on the list.
Awesome.
That's why he doesn't hang around with him for the evening and get drunk.
Oh, so
He
he
just
wasn't.
throws him one beer.
So he wasn't even like his good friend. He's just some dude that he might have known.
Yeah, no, I think they said that they were in this, they play in the same league playing football or something like that.
So that guy just gets the one beer. Fuck's sake.
He gets them one, gets them one beer.
And only as an afterthought as well, as he's flying away. Oh yeah, there's a fucking beer.
But yeah, that is 3 nights now.
Yeah.
Well, he gets back to the Saigon and the docks, and they do they do a truck pulling away reveal that the ship's not there.
Yeah.
Right, ships are fucking huge. You can't you can't have a fucking articulated lorry just move and just go, oh, there's no huge ship behind it.
This is Saigon, right?
This is Saigon, yeah, which is Ho Chi Minh now.
Is Saigon where he starts getting chased by the CIA, or is that after?
No, that's in the middle.
So he walks from that place to oh yeah, so they stop early, then he walks to
He walks to another base where Clooney's at, and then Clooney puts him on a helicopter to Saigon.
Okay, gotcha.
So they're at the Hotel Caravel. That's where all the reporter scenes mostly happen. They're at the Hotel Caravel, and there's three reporters and Russell Crowe. The three reporters are there three reporters? There's the woman, the British guy,
yeah,
and Russell Crowe. Is that it? Is that the three?
Yeah, and the British guy just seems really fucking negative about everything.
Negative and dismissive. They're all kind of dicks, right?
Yeah.
Dismissive dicks, slightly hoity-toity, especially the British guy.
Yeah.
It's only Russell Crowe that he's a dismissive dick, but he phrases things better. His part is better written than the others.
Even the first time they meet, when he says that he explains why he's in Vietnam taking beer. At first he's like, "That's fucking stupid," but he goes, "No, I just want to bring up morale." Like you can see in his face the first time he's like, "That's actually kind of interesting." He's put like a journalist. He's like, "That could be a story."
Yeah, right.
Like he has that face, like he still isn't really taking him seriously, but the fact that someone's coming over, that's definitely a fucking story. The other two just like the other two just dismiss him like, oh, you're not taking this seriously, you're an idiot.
There is a point later when he hands over the photograph of him in Elsie Jane to, I believe, the British reporter. The British reporter looks at the photo, not Russell Crowe, and it's the British reporter who goes, "You silly, you silly twat," or
Yeah.
something like that, like a British swear word. And then Russell Crowe he doesn't say anything. He just takes a picture of Chicky.
Yeah. See, that's why I like Russell Crowe's character. He seems a little bit more intelligent as there's possibly a story here.
And in this film, where I keep repeatedly saying that they just say shit out loud, it was just like a nice little thing of like, oh, yeah, okay, yeah, no, he kind of respects him enough to take a picture of him now.
Yeah.
Chicky's a bit of a dick to them as well. I'm just thinking now that like Chicky is like the perfect propaganda sponge
Yeah.
at the beginning of this. Like he's a patriot, and it's just like you tell me what.
That's actually one of my favorite parts of the movie is when Russell Crowe teaches them that no,
Mm,
actually, propaganda is bad. I shouldn't only be saying or teaching him that the truth, nothing you can't be like take the piss out of telling the truth. The truth
mm.
can't hurt us. The lies is what hurt us. We need to people back home need to know what's actually happening so that they can actually make a real decision.
So the Tet Offensive, real thing that happens. It's supposed to be a ceasefire. It happens on the, I think, Lunar New Year. Everyone's pissed and they're having fireworks, and then hidden in the middle of this is a battle, where the North Vietnam.
Doesn't the Tet Offensive also happen in Full Metal Jacket?
Full Metal Jacket, when the base gets breached very briefly.
That's the same. So this is the same time frame as Full Metal
Yeah.
Jacket. Okay.
So the Tet Offensive was this huge push by the North to attack as many targets in the South as they could simultaneously.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a bollocks up. Do you know much about this?
No, no, nothing about it.
So it was a bit of a bollocks up. It did not work for the North at all. Heavy losses. But because they were so brazen in doing it, it was a massive morale hit for the Americans.
Yeah.
It very hugely undermined the American war effort, even though it was a complete military failure for the North. It undermined the Americans enough for especially people at home to start being seriously questioning what was going on and pulling support for it. The Also, the Americans had warning.
They had warning, but they didn't take it seriously.
Tet lasts for several days.
Yeah.
So, where Oklahoma points this out. So, it was supposed to be a coordinated attack during the Tet celebrations across quite a large country. And quite frankly, some places went early. So, Americans had reports that some places were getting attacked the day before the attack on Saigon.
I was about to make a pre-ejaculate joke, but I decided not to.
So yeah, they busted their nut a little bit too early in some places. The Americans knew that something was afoot. They even put more guards on in places, but then didn't really do much else other than that. And then it all kicked off in Saigon. Though Chicky was there
Okay.
during the Tet Offensive in real life. And he was actually in Saigon for like I think a couple of weeks, maybe a month. Like he got an apartment and worked a part-time job, and he spent his evenings drinking with drinking with the press. But yeah, no, he didn't spend one night just like hiding in a house with Russell Crowe. He definitely did not see the hole in the embassy wall get blown. And yeah, though his friend Bobby Pappas was at the ammo dump, I don't believe the ammo dump blew up, if I'm
Okay.
remembering it
So
correctly.
that's the last friend he has to meet, right?
Yeah, that's the last friend he has to meet. Um, and then he tries to, and then after it all, when things in real life, when things calm down after a couple of weeks, he then managed to get a connection to catch up to his boat.
And they carried those beers around for all that time.
There's another bit in this where what's his name? Bobby Pappas, the guy in the ammo dump, is trying to help him get a connection, to Havershaw, who then has a connection to the boat, and he's walking through like the offices the officers' offices, and like the TV's on in the corner, and it's like a general just going, "Oh, we believe this was a complete failure. We believe it was a diversion." Blah 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 blah. And Chicky again says out loud, "That's a
Fucking
lie."
bullshit.
It's like you
We
didn't
know.
have to say it out loud.
We
Yeah,
know. We've been watching the movie too.
Saw the film. But yeah, he meets Havershaw. He finds out Tommy's dead.
Yeah.
And then he goes back to Inwood, brackets a neighborhood in North Manhattan, and gives a big speech in the pub about using words out loud that other films would have just used context for. Essentially, war is bad. And then the credits roll, I think.
Yeah, I don't know if we're the good guys in this one.
So, is there anything that we haven't mentioned about the film?
I mean, I agree with you about the saying stuff out loud a little bit too much, but I still fucking love this movie. I think it's a great, if anything, it's a great story.
Yeah. Like, as I say, I do enjoy this film. It's just I think it's something that the first time I watched it I didn't notice, but then the second time it's just like, this is a little bit on the nose, and especially in relation to the other two, because we've just watched the other two. Shall we give this film a score then? If you want to know, IMDb is 6.8, whilst Rotten Tomatoes, the critics score is quite low, 43%, but the audience score is quite high, it's 91.
I can't give this as high a score as I did for the other two. This is a great story, and I thought it was acted really well. And it's a really good story, a really enjoyable watch. I've actually watched it twice, well, 3 times now technically, because it's been playing silently in the background. But it's also not quite as poignant as for example, Casualties of War is a genius movie. Completely different to Full Metal Jacket, which is also a genius movie. And there's nothing in this that is even as nearly as good as Emery's Drill Sergeant. But it is a great watch. So I give this probably a 78.
7.8.
7.8.
I'm going to go a bit lower. I'm thinking not in comparison to the other two films that we've done, but like thinking of other like war comedies like Good Morning Vietnam, or even more recent ones, which I'm trying to think of examples of, but can't. I think the thing is, its premise is great, and the film is enjoyable. I think its execution is what's lacking. I think it's a story that's better told in other mediums,
like in a podcast.
The podcast does it better than the film does. I think the book, like the book, is better, possibly. It's still a good film though, so I'm gonna go somewhere in the middle. It's like 5.5. I'll go 5.5. No, 5.6. There you go, 5.6. Colin, if people were so inclined to find you on the internet, where could they to possibly see pictures of your new mixer and nabe and shit like that?
COLIN.GERRARD.92 for Instagram. I just realized that every time I've done this so far, I've said Colin.Gerard, and nobody knows how to spell Colin. Is it 2 L's? Is it 1 L? And nobody knows how to spell Gerard. Is it 1 R? Is there an L in there? No, there is not.
It's linked down below. You can find me at The Badger's Apprentice on YouTube or TikTok, possibly without the.
When is that going to be? When is that going to be without the possibly? When are you going to learn which one it is?
I think TikTok doesn't have the. Okay. And on Twitter or whatever it's called now at TBA_tweet. So yeah, that should be it. I'm sure the music's playing now. Goodbye, y'all.
Have a good night.